finished testing the Yamaha AR190. This is Yamaha's new class of sports boat. It's their smallest one, and they're looking to sell a bunch of these things, and I think they really will. A lot of fun. It's they're keeping the price down on this. They haven't announced the price yet, but they're saying it's going to be very, very attractive, a price that you haven't been able to get a Yamaha at for quite a while. Now we're powered by a single 1.8 liter engine, which gives the AR190 really good performance. We got on plane in 3 seconds to 30 miles an hour in 7.1 seconds with a top speed of 42 miles an hour. Now these numbers might change because this is a prototype and they're still tweaking on it a little bit, and I'll pass it along if we get better numbers out of this. One of the guys was telling me he had it up to 44 miles an hour, so that's entirely possible the way we have it rigged here. I'll tell you what, like all other Yamahas, this thing's a hoot to drive. Whip it into corners and it really handles nicely. Great little skiing package. At 22 miles an hour, we had a really, it was a fairly small wake, but it was really well formed with a nice lip. So young wakeboarders will be able to get some air with this without launching too far in the stratosphere. I'll tell you what, let's head back to the dock and take a look at some of the features. Just looked at the front half of this boat, you'd never guess I was on a 19-footer. Well, this is Yamaha's new series. This is the AR190. There's another model too, an SX190. But I'll tell you what, really wide. They carried the beam really far forward and have created a 19-foot boat that you'd swear was 21, 22 feet long. A couple of nice features that you don't see on too many boats is a dedicated anchor locker. We even have a cradle for a Dansford type anchor. Most of the time you have to put it off to the side in your storage compartment and it bangs around and it gets kind of messy, but they've handled that really nicely. Let's go in the cockpit and see what we have there. The AR190 has a really nice little helm here. One thing I like is it has this flat gray area, so that really cuts down the windshield reflections. They've positioned this boat as a really affordable boat, but they still give you a lot of bells and whistles, like the fuel management up here in the gauges, and a couple of really clever features like the cruise assist mode that allows you to go about as fast as you can without throwing out a wake, and you don't sit there and juggle the throttle. It's kind of hard to keep it dialed in and go as fast as you can. So you can relax in those long no-wake zones and not have to worry about fiddling with the throttle there. Now, a really interesting feature is they have an idle assist here. These boats tend to wander quite a bit at idle, and it can be maddening to hold a straight line. And you sure don't want the police after you've downed a Mountain Dew thinking you've been drinking something else. So you just push it to the first detent, and it actually assists you with tracking in a straight line at really slow speeds. And I'll tell you what, they got a gigantic locker here. You can fit 2 wakeboards in here with no worries, mate. Stuff a couple of bad children in here too if they're not minding. Now the AR190 has this bench seat right here, and this lifts up. You can put a cooler underneath, and the SX version has a companion captain's chair right here. So, whichever model you want. I kind of like this myself. I like the fact that you can fit a lot of people in this boat, and it's still a 19-footer. It's kind of hard to, when you look at all the room you have, it's kind of hard to believe you're still talking a 19-footer. All right, let's take a look at the back of this boat. Now, this is where Yamaha really made its name on these kind of boats. Early on, Yamaha understood what people like to do with boats, and a lot of times we like to hang out at anchor, out on a raft up, and just sit on the back of the boat, watch the kids swim. And I'll tell you what, I'm certainly really glad they've carried this over to the 190 class. You still have a really comfortable seat back here. Your feet aren't up like you're sitting on a basketball. It's a very comfortable arrangement here. And we have a nice locker back here as well too. For more information on the Yamaha 190, AR190, and other great boats, go to boatingworld.com. I'm Alan Jones, and we'll see you out on the water.